not easy.
It's not.
And I think that's the whole purpose of this is like, if you really want it and you really, really believe in yourself, you're going to do it.
You're going to do it. Yeah. And also, we've said this before too. All of these things that we're just now like announcing, right? Like all of the things that we've done, we make it look easy, but there's so much that has happened before that. I've signed record deals, I've signed management deals when I first started out that went completely to shit. And I worked on myself for years and years. And it wasn't until I was 23. So like 8 years later, when I signed a record deal that actually like propelled me to be able to explore other opportunities.
Right.
So that should put it in perspective for a lot of people.
Like this. Welcome back to the Face of Music podcast with your host, Emanuel Brown, and this is
Sarey Savvy.
Yeah, so we're back for another season.
Yes.
As always. It's great to be back.
I'm so excited.
Yes, it's dope. We have a guest today. We're going to have numerous guests, but we have another guest today. We have the legendary, as I like to call her all the time when I talk to her, Jenny Powers from, you're from Myrtle Beach, correct?
I am. I live in Myrtle Beach,
Okay.
South Carolina.
All right, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You are a digital marketer. You do label services with your company, Blue Ave Music Group, correct? And can I just list off some of the people I know you've worked with? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
So she's worked with Ari Herstand. If you don't know who he is, get familiar. You should definitely know who he is. He has 3 books out.
Love
An
him.
amazing human being. Lucidius, the rapper, who's from Virginia, I think, like me as well.
Oh, wow.
Another great guy. Those are really like the 2 that I know, like specifically. But I know you've also talked about a lot of other people you work with. If you wanted to go ahead, Jenny, and just say who else you worked
I've
with.
worked with Grammy-nominated producer Dana Nielsen.
Okay.
He was just on the SZA album. Like he did that album, which was top Billboard.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see. Many former American Idol contestants, Songland contestants, and The Voice. Yeah, and then I have a couple reggae artists that I've worked with. I came up in reggae, so I have Treehouse, and I've worked with Tropidelic, and anyone who's an up-and-comer in that genre, I've helped elevate them. So
Legend.
I love that. That's so awesome.
Legend. So I guess before we dive into like, what you're doing, the purpose of having you here, do you want to give people like a little background of like how you got started in music and, digital marketing? Are you an artist yourself or?
Yeah, so I'm a terrible flute player, I'll tell you that. I play a little bit of piano, but my major background was in legal studies and investigations. And you're like, what?
Well, yeah.
How did
crazy.
you go from being a paralegal working for one of the biggest companies in the state of South Carolina to spending 9 years as a private investigator?
Whoa.
I worked with I had a blank.
Okay.
Hard Rock Park, and I was their securities investigator, and I did undercover security work for the artists who would come on our property. So that included the Eagles and Kid Rock, and at the time when MTV was still around, all the artists who came through from that. So yeah, so that's how I moved into the business side of music through my education. But my sister was a touring artist for 10 years, toured all over the world. She was in a country punk band called Those Darlings.
Oh, wow.
And during all of that, my brother was like, hey, I need someone to manage me. And I was like, okay, let's figure some stuff out. And here I am.
Wow.
So,
Ran with it.
Yeah, what a
Yeah,
story.
ran with it. Like I figured it out. One of the things he wanted me to do was learn how to start marketing him. And so that's how I got into the marketing aspect of helping artists, elevate themselves through digital marketing.
And how long ago was that, if you don't mind me asking, like when you like really jumped in head first?
With him, it was about 10 years ago, but still didn't really, know what I was doing. And then probably 6 to 7 years ago, I was really getting into the digital marketing aspect of it. And that's when I found Ari, and I was in his group for their digital marketing group. And I just started helping people, which was something that came natural to me because I come from a family of musicians. And like, all right, let's figure out how we take big pieces of information and help bring it into bite-sized pieces to move them along a process so that they can learn how to even promote themselves through digital marketing.
Wow. So just to make sure we're understanding correctly, you found Ari through Ari's group of
I had originally found Ari through you know, his blog, just like everyone else at that time.
right.
And then he did like a one-on-one, and we had just come off of a show with Dirty Heads, and we'd sold a good amount of merch, but he really helped me help the band figure out what we needed to do to capitalize on the people that we were just in front of. So, and then when he started his courses, I just joined the group to continue to help and figure out like what we could do to help the bands I was working with.
Wow, wow, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is.
That's crazy. I mean, again, we appreciate you like sharing that because, I mean, we've been familiar with each other, I would say, for about like almost a year now,
Yeah. Yeah.
something like that. And, you just been so helpful to not just me, but to a lot of people and him as well. Because like what you tell me, I run and just tell him after. I'm like, yeah, I was talking to Jenny and she's like, blah, 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 blah.
He does.
So,
Yeah.
we're super grateful for that and just like what you contribute to the music industry in just such a positive way because as you know, probably on a bigger scale than we do, there's a lot of pieces of shit out here. So yeah.
Every day in my inbox, some piece of shit is like, do you need 50,000 streams for $10? And I'm like, oh, no, no.
Right, exactly. But
Not gonna happen.
right.
Yeah.
So did you have any questions, Sarey, before I just like keep rolling?
Keep rolling. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
keep going.
So I guess I'm curious now, like, okay, we got to Ari Hurstan, how you guys got connected. Again, for everyone who's watching, if you don't know who Ari Hurstan is, he's a published author of 3 books. He's in a band himself called Grassroots Districts, I believe, if that's correct. He is just what we call in the independent music scene, like the independent guru. He knows how to like do everything. He talks to everyone, and he's just, I've had the pleasure of speaking to him a couple times through his academy, which we'll get into here in a second, and prior through another person that knows him. And he's just a good dude, like just a good human being. And I don't think that's said enough publicly about him. So I just want to say that publicly about him, that he's a good person. And I really appreciate what he brings to the table. So then you guys connected. And then how did you and the artist Lucidius, the rapper Lucidius, and Ari come together to like do the course through Ari's Take Academy, which is his courses and artist hub?
Right. I joined the course. I'd
Okay.
already been a marketer, but I wanted to see what they were doing because you can always learn from people. I don't have all the answers, but if someone's doing one thing and it's working, I want to do that too. Because I don't feel like I'm in competition. I'm, in a constant world of learning, and how do we all come together and figure something out and move forward with it? And so that is, yeah. So that's really like my whole point of view in life. And so that's how I met them. And like I said, I just jumped in and started helping because I'd already worked on the back end of marketing, especially in Facebook. And I knew how tough it was just to figure out, like, you hit the wrong setting, your entire campaigns are jacked. You're like, why are my conversions at $17?
Oh
Oh,
my
I put
God.
in the wrong information. So there's, knowing that from a user standpoint, I wanted to be able to help people and musicians so that they could navigate that system in a better way and not get the mistakes that I was getting, because I'm in there every day. And if I'm getting those mistakes and situations and roadblocks, I know that they're going to be getting them today, tomorrow, or very soon.
Mm,
I mean, that's part of the reason why we started the podcast too,
yeah.
because we didn't believe that information that every single independent artist should know should be behind a gatekeeper. And obviously, we also understand that people need to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So we get that piece. However, I think that as we continue to work on this podcast together, we just realized that we wanted to be the podcast that could help organize all of these complex things and bring them into one stop for
Mm-hmm.
people,
Mm-hmm.
which is why we are grateful to have somebody like you and also our future guests who are going to be coming on to talk a little bit about what they do and how independent artists and also even fans
Mm-hmm.
could learn a little bit more about the behind the scenes of the music business. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
No, I think that's a great point. Like you said, Jenny, like we don't know everything either. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like we're still trying to figure it out. We're not, on a level of a Aria Hurston, a Lucidius, a Kid Rock,
I'm
but
going to tell you that even the Grammy artists I work with are in the exact same place as you, Emanuel, and you, Sarey. They are, because we're every artist I work with is going through the same thing. We're creating music, we're working on release schedules, and we're working on ways to get more people to hear our music. Like that, those three things make you at the same level. They just happen to get an award, but they're at the same place. It's the
I love that.
exact same place.
that's
That-
perspective.
You
yeah,
have
that
to go through the exact same thing the Grammy artist does. You just don't have that financial backing of a label. And the difference is that Grammy artists may not even own their masters at the end of everything. You are in a position to have that control and own your masters, own all your rights, and fully control all the revenue streams coming to you. You don't have to give it to the big wigs. Like, it's all yours, because like when I set up my artists who are brand new, I set them up as their own label. And as long as they have their control and they're in control of where they go, where they play, and what they do, and the merch they sell, and the type of music, they have that creative control. And that's really important to me, helping those artists.
Yeah,
wow.
that's
That's powerful. That's actually really powerful.
it
And I'm
is.
sure a lot of independent artists who are aspiring to one day get to that, whatever that means, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just do that because I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
It's different for everybody.
Right.
I'm sure they're probably watching this and there's like a,
Yeah.
like a sigh of like relief. Like, okay, all right.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like it's so crazy because like every time I talk to her,
hmm
it's just like more perspective.
I mean, I can hear it.
Like, I mean, like, because we speak at least once a week, and I don't want to make it seem like we're best friends because we're not, right? But through the course,
But we do speak once a week.
that's true, right? Exactly. But through the Ari's Tech Academy course, I bought the course.
Okay.
I bought it to learn about streaming and growth.
Okay.
And the reason I've seen a lot of that success is because of Jenny and Lucidius and Ari.
I know
And,
that's right.
So, you got to give flowers where they're due.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like she's really helped me like just fine tune the small things and made me like, I mean, I always knew it was possible, but it's like, you really don't, like, it's possible, but it becomes even more real how possible it is when you see somebody do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like if you've never seen somebody do it before, you don't know like if it's like 100% possible. You just like have this thought like, yeah, I can probably make it there, but it's never like that certainty that you can do it. And she's definitely has changed that mindset for me. And like the reason, a lot of our shows, just so you know, Jenny, a lot of the shows I've done recently, I've been telling you about, Sarey's been a part of it. And, they sell out well because of your guidance, like the guidance you've given me.
Thank you.
No way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, they've sold very well. The streams are going very well because of your guidance. And, I'm just grateful that you tune in to what we do. You care about what we do. And, you genuinely are just like a great person. Like, I really mean that because, just for all the listeners out there, you asked to come on our podcast. You know what I mean? Like we, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we just, you know what I'm saying? You would tell me about it all the time.
And he was like, I never thought about it.
Because I didn't know like you had an interest, but you were just like, yeah. She's like, you're like, I always watch what y'all are doing.
Oh my God.
So I'm like,
that's crazy. Well, that and, we're in the very beginning stages.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense why you didn't think of it. I don't look at that as a bad thing. I just look at it as like, we're still trying to build.
Right.
And it was probably just, correct me if I'm wrong, just unexpected.
Very.
Yeah.
Very. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
So, but once again, really grateful that you're here. And I know that we're going to be able to provide a lot of people different insight as to what goes on. So
that's great. Go ahead. I'm just flattered.
I mean, like I tell you all the time, and then we'll, move on a little bit. Every week, I say to you that, you take time out of your day to help out hundreds of people a month for free.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to. You know what I mean? So like,
which is crazy.
Crazy. It's like I don't think like people really understand how fucking crazy that is. You know what I mean? Like she's literally taking an hour of her life away from everything else she has going on to sit and help people. Right? And I'm going to say this, you don't have to say this. I'm going to say it. And some of those people don't even take the advice she's telling them to fucking do. Like they don't. They won't do it. Right? Because they want her to do it for them. You know what I'm saying?
Typical.
And that's even crazier to me because it's like, how do you expect this to work if you don't do it yourself?
How entitled could you possibly be?
Oh, extremely fucking entitled. And like Jenny's very nice. She's not going to say it, but I'm pretty sure she's saying it in other places. Right? But, I said to her, like, you're here every week for an hour for free. Like, I need to show up. If I can show up, I will show up. You know what I mean? Because like, you don't have to be here.
No.
So again, we're just grateful for you.
I feel like I'm always finding out new stuff. So when I enjoy getting there because that's where I get to collaborate with people. And I'm like, I've just found out this new thing. And this is what I'm testing with my people. So the more people I can get to work on these things and to test them out, the better, source I have to be like, okay, these things have worked. And we just noticed like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't want to pay someone to do all this editing for me and then I not like it. Like, so we've been using these like AI companies that like Opus Pro. So they take long form content and they pick out the pieces, caption it, and put it in the format you want it. It'll spit out 20 pieces of content in a matter of like 30 minutes for
crazy.
you.
Yeah, it is.
And it goes through and gives you like really cool captions to utilize in your ad copy. So I probably just said a bunch of things. You're like,
No. I get it.
I get it.
He get it. But, you know, that's a perfect segue into you do digital marketing. So you do management, artist label services within your company. And can you expound on like exactly what that is, like Facebook ads or Meta ads now, and Google ads, and how that can help artists be successful, which gets us to the point of this episode. Like, if you don't spend money on your career,
what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. so yeah.
Right. Well, especially when they go around. Okay, where do we want to start on that?
Wherever you want to start.
I'm the founder and CEO of Blue Avenue Music Group. I'm the vice president of Artist Hub for their community management. And I'm the moderator for Ari's Take and their digital marketing. I'm also
she's a busy
one
woman.
of the South Carolina Women in Business 22 recipients.
I'm gonna drink to that.
No, we gotta cheers.
Cheers to that.
That's crazy. Shout out to Lemon Perfect. Oh wow. Woo.
Woo. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
So in those things, like when I started with my clients and we were working on moving them through these digital marketing aspects of growing their fan bases on Meta, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and YouTube, you know, your 5 main ones. And the biggest issue that I was coming into as a marketer was the things we were using to get people to stream on Spotify from Facebook. Those texts weren't working together. And so I was like, ooh, it's taking my user too many clicks to get to where I want them to. And so I was like, okay, how do I fix this so that I have a seamless journey from point A to point B? And I went to my developer and I was like, can you create me some weird like deep link just for Spotify? Because that's my main focus, because that was the biggest music listening platform. It still is. But the tech between the back end of running ads on Facebook and getting people to the platform just didn't work. And he created this code for me that I was able to help elevate my artist at the time, because it forced the Spotify app open directly into the song and started auto playing it.
That man is a genius.
Got those 30 seconds of streams automatically.
Whoever did that is a genius. Genius.
That was my buddy, Mikey, from a band called Soul Eugene, right around your area, like not in Washington, but he's in
Eugene, Oregon.
Eugene.
It's not too far.
Yeah. And the only problem I had was I couldn't pick except with my own website, because we were running it through my website. And so I went to Lucidius and I was like, hey, I'm not using these pivot pages like you guys are. This is what I'm doing. But my problem is I can't pixel what I'm doing individually. So it's all that data is coming to me. And I want my artists to have that data, because that individual data that they collect is going to help them grow their own businesses. And he's like, hey, I have a friend I need you to meet. And so we all three met and created Artist Hub, and we're the first in deep linking. We're the first in deep linking pre-saves, which is
Which I use.
amazing because
Yeah.
when you do a pre-save and you get into that like browser and then you have to go through 27 logins to figure out how to even get to Spotify, and by the time they do that, they've given up. So we were able to figure out how to deep link into the app so that you don't have to log in. And on on iPhones, it's, click, click, boom, you're done. You get a follow, a pre-save, forever pre-save, an email. And one of the things that we know is that the money's in the list. So if you get those email contacts and you build your list with that, you know that those are people who are already highly engaged because they took those steps to pre-save. And now you have their email and you can retarget them for different things.
So before you continue, this all makes great sense to us,
Yes.
right? Because we're actively in it. Can you explain what a pixel is? Can you explain like the importance of a pre-save, and why a deep link, into a Spotify, what that is and why it's important for people who listen to us as fans and aren't like necessarily in the music business? Can you explain those things, please?
Right. So pixels, there's two types of data collection that we use in marketing. One is called an access token and one is called a pixel. Pixels are what, like they're like Pac-Man. They go through and they follow you and they eat all your information, little bits at
What
a
an
time.
analogy.
And they build big pictures. And what that is, like when you think of something and then you scroll and all of a sudden it starts appearing everywhere. That's pixel data following you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? API data is a little different. It comes from server-based. So it goes in and takes a big picture of what you're doing, and then we collect it and then break it down on through our servers. And you'll notice when iPhone users a few years ago, we weren't able to utilize pixel data on their phones anymore, which is why we had to implement the API access tokens so that we could go in, take a big picture, get out, and keep going. And then break that data down later. And
Gotcha.
so really what both of those are just tracking information so that we can retarget people who have clicked or have taken an action on your ads, and we can then segment that out and know how to target them later. So let's say they all went to Spotify. Well, we know they listen to Spotify, so we don't have to waste our money on targeting, Apple users. We can just target Spotify users and send them where we need to. And we can literally segment out each destination that they choose and just regroup them into what their favorite platform is to listen on. And then we can have better targeted campaigns because of that. That's a big answer to your question.
It's a great answer, and I just laughed because I thought of this saying that I heard. People be like, "Oh, just dropping gems. She's dropping gems."
Yeah.
She's dropping jewelry. She's dropping jewelry, not gems. A whole necklace.
The store is open.
It's open.
It's open, and you don't have to shop because she's just giving it out.
Giving it.
She's doing a promotion right now.
She's giving it. She's giving it for free.
That's crazy. That's really crazy. And then, so I love that. And hopefully for anybody watching, they can better understand and be able, with the explanation that you gave, to be able to go do more research if they're still a little confused.
Yeah, because she's not gonna fucking do it for you.
Yeah.
And we aren't either.
Yeah.
So let's just put that out there.
Yeah.
But continue. Sorry.
No, it's okay. But you had a question about pre-saves,
Yes.
right? So I forgot how you framed it, but the importance of a pre-save.
Yes,
right?
The importance of a pre-save, and you already went over deep links and pixels.
Yeah, deep links, yeah.
So yeah, like because I think when people see a pre-save or a pre-ad, they're like, oh, why the fuck would I do that? You know what I mean? Like, why would I do that? So I think it's important for us to explain why that is important to help your favorite artists, and in conjunction with how Artist Hub is amazing at doing that.
Yes.
And before you guys made it public, I felt special because you gave me access to it early. So
I was so jealous about that. It's fine. He's my best friend. I want to see him win, but still.
Boy, the eye twitching is crazy.
all the artists that I work with get, access to the features that come out before, and we let them test it, and they get to tell us, hey, this is working, this isn't working, and we get to go back and refine in our code what is and isn't working so that we can have the best thing available for everybody.
That's great, by the way. You really are. I love the name so much. I love the name Artist Hub, and I love the interface. It's just, for me, it's just so UI friendly.
It is.
And I love the amount of customization that you have. And I know you have a little, I don't know exactly what it's called. Maybe I'll call it like a forum where like people can go in and see what you are working on and leave feedback. I saw that. And I think there was a day where I talked about it with you and another artist who's a close friend of ours named King, and we kind of went in and kind of left suggestions one day. I remember doing that. But yeah, I mean, I'm very curious on the pre-save too, because I feel like we see artists do it all the time. And I'm huge on pre-saves with my fans. And I push and push and push, and they go to Artist Hub because of him and you.
Yeah, well, I before you jump in, Jenny, I just want to say that before I hated pre-saves.
Yeah, you did.
I hated it because it didn't.
I did too.
Well,
and I was like, listen, we have to be able to have a way that this works, because I can see the value in it, in getting your followers up, because in our pre-save system, you get that automatic follow on Spotify. You get that automatic future pre-save. So you don't have to ask them to ever do it again. They opt in to future pre-saves, and you don't have to ask, because a lot of times it's a big ask of your audience, and if we can quell that and put it, to where we're only asking these newer people as they come in, because your real fans, like your true 1,000 true fans, they already have it on their library, because they've opted in for everything in the future to be added there on the day it drops. So that, I think, is really important. We don't have to keep, I don't want to say begging, because I don't ever want an artist to beg. We ask.
I like that.
And we ban the term starving artist, because if you're working with me, my goal is to make sure you're not a starving artist. So we ban those things.
Say that. Yeah.
But how the pre-saves help, it helps us build our list. It helps us build our email and text lists through Artist Hub, and it helps us build our Spotify followers, and build the pre-saves, the save rates on new songs that are dropping. And I think that's really important. And with our system, you get that text message that day that says, hey, I know you pre-saved this, but just in case you forgot, here's a link to go listen.
Right.
You gotta love that.
Yeah.
You gotta love that.
I know. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to say too much because I know like we've had discussions on like what's going on the back end, and I know Derek has emailed me, who's the owner of Artist Hub. He's been emailing me about some stuff they're doing too.
Oh, I love that.
And I don't want to say anything because I don't want to speak out of turn. But pre-saves are fucking amazing. They're amazing.
Wow, you're a
and
believer now?
I am a believer because for I want to say you guys were talking about pre-saves when I first joined the course, but it wasn't like open to like everyone. And I remember like I honestly felt like I was being a little shit because I kept asking about access to the pre-save. Like I would ask in every meeting we had. I'd be like, "So when can I get access? Like, can I get access?" And they'd be like, "It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet."
It was like he wanted to prove how shit it was. And he got in there, tested it out, and he's like, "I'm sold. I'm sold."
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I mean, I know I'm sold.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sold like a mother. But like the best part that we haven't even talked about, that we should say, is that it's free. Using Artist Hub is free, right? Oh, wait, no. Sorry, I'm thinking about something else.
You are.
I am, my bad. Wait, I pay, excuse me, it's not free. I actually pay $17 a month.
Yep.
Yes. But the sign up, like you can check out the UI and everything for free though, but to use
for a month, yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, for a month. That's where it's coming from, is that it's free for a month.
Well,
right?
But
I'm here and I want everyone to be able to try it for 3 months.
Okay, so it's free for 3 months.
Yes.
For 3 months. And when you sign up, put in the words Blue Ave, BLUEAVE. Everyone gets it for 3 months for free.
Okay. And can we put that in the description? Can we do that?
Can I type it to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You in the chat or in a text? Or
like is
just text it. Just text it to
me. Okay, so I wasn't tripping. It is free. It's just not. It's free.
Not forever free.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not forever free, but it's free if you use this promo code for 3 months. So you get to go in and check out the UI that we're talking about and be able to have access to the same things that we have access to that we pay for, and then decide for yourself. Here's the thing, Jenny, that I really enjoy about you and what I'm hearing about Artist Hub as well is like, first of all, my experience with Artist Hub has always been great. Very responsive, and Derek is so sweet, so helpful. But not only that, but you really sound like you're bringing back something that a lot of people don't do no more, which is there's not a lot of people in this world that will help you and hold your hand through certain things.
Yeah.
That's gone, right? Like artist development is it's gone. You have to be.
Well, she does that too through Blue Ave Music too, by the way. If you
yeah. I actually remember reading about that. Yeah. So that proves my point, though. It's like you're bringing those things back. Like that for me is like the interest of like that's how you know you're very artist centric,
right?
And so, but speaking of like. Because really, like we talked about pixels, we talked about pre-saves, we talked about kind of the work that you do. And then earlier, like towards the beginning of the call, we mentioned about investing in yourself.
Yep.
So like, I think that really, I really want to dig a little bit deeper into kind of what you see on social media, the way that artists promote themselves currently, and maybe some things that you notice that are like, ugh, like you see it and you kind of cringe a little bit, and then things that you feel like artists should be spending more time on and like more money on, for example, because I think that'd be great.
Great. So invest in short form content creation. The day of the long form music video, gone. You can go use Kyber AI, put in some beautiful words, upload your song, and it will spit out a long form video for you in about an hour. Go upload that as your long form YouTube. That is going to generate you your royalties and your watch time and the things that you need to get, meet their platform criteria for monetization, and you can spit out as many videos as you want. Like, it's crazy, and they're all unique to you and what you've done. And I would say invest in short form, because you can just generate that long form from, those AIs. When I see some things that just make me cringe, when you're talking about like a important topic in a song, you want to give enough context to that in your copy. And when I say copy, I mean your explanation. You don't want to just like ram it down their throat like, this song is about my friend who died, and then start singing it, and then just nothing else to explain like the story behind that. Because I think that's the most important part, telling your story. And if you have a connective piece with someone and you're telling your story or a story, or the process of your song, those things will go a lot farther than just throwing up something that doesn't have a story or a compelling component to it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say okay. Like that's very interesting. And I also, I mean, I agree, because we see other artists do that a lot. And it's also, I think a lot of artists, and even myself, like I'm not an exception to this, but like sometimes we kind of struggle to find that balance.
Oh, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like sometimes, because you are so vulnerable in your music, and I'm also very vulnerable about my music. It's really based around mental health. And like sometimes mental health can be a lot to take in, especially if people don't know you and you're trying to quote unquote sell
Right, it
a
could
product.
be cliche. Like
Yeah.
people think it's just you trying
Yeah.
to.
So I think that provides some great insight into make sure. So it sounds like just make sure you have some context. Like don't just boom and then expect people to get it. Like they're gonna need more than just like, my friend died. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think I also want to ask Jenny, what do you think is like the biggest hurdle people need to get over when trying to become, any type of artist? Let's break it down into 3 sections, right? Like if you have a guy or girl, who wants to just be a full-time artist, then you got somebody who wants to be like a mid-tier artist who can break into like being, the top 5% in the world, like a, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, blase, blase. And then you have those who want to be a Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Drake, whatever. What do you think is stopping a lot of people from doing that and investing in themselves to get to that point?
Oh, I love that.
Ooh, because they're looking at the end goal and being like, they want that tomorrow. And they don't realize that she started that when she was 13,
I know
Taylor
that's
Swift
right.
started that. Beyonce started that when she was very young.
Like 9 years old, like 8, 9
They
years old.
didn't just pop into the scene and rise to the top.
You better tell them, Jenny.
And I just want to just make another point. Anyone who has recently, look at all those artists that just went viral over the last several years that got scooped up by these, big industry labels. They got dropped. They've all, like the majority of them have been dropped. Why?
Crazy.
Because they didn't build those foundations necessary to grow on.
Yeah.
They didn't have a sturdy foundation. What I mean by that is they didn't have their businesses like in line to build on. They didn't have a platform to build on. And that quick rise up is a hard fall down. So unless you have like really put in place the ability to look at your music business and say, okay, this is the path that we're going on, and this is how we're going to build this.
Mm.
Even if you get to the top, even if you are a Taylor or a Beyonce, if you have a bad moment, you don't lose everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I brought up Taylor Swift because I know you're a Swiftie, so that's what.
Taylor Swift.
We don't have enough time to discuss that.
I love Taylor Swift. Okay.
Yeah.
So, one, you gotta give context. So
Yep.
if you're creating short form content, have some context and kind of like warm listeners, like bring some kind of warmth to the story that you're trying to tell people.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also sounds like, second of all, it's consistency.
Yep.
It's putting in time, putting in work. That's one thing that I heard from that conversation. But I also heard another one, which a lot of artists don't have this, which is a plan. You need to have a plan.
Even one more that
Yeah.
to add on to those three great fucking points.
Yeah.
Patience.
Patience. Right. Emanuel, so like Emanuel is a really, like we've grown close because we've always been on the same page about a lot of different things in the music business. But the one thing that Emanuel has to say to a lot of people that I've heard time and time again is like, it's a slow roast. And I mean, that is very, very true. And what you said is very true as well, Jenny. Like, a lot of people expect it tomorrow. And the reality in what you said is very true, where it's like all of these viral artists that get up,
Yeah.
and I don't think, and before anybody thinks this way, because I know some of you bitches think that we're like, because some of you bitches like to think that when we talk shit, we're hating. We're not hating. What we're really saying,
We're telling the truth.
Yes, that.
Point out the reality of the situation, and sometimes that's hard to hear.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
truth will set you free.
Yes.
But I think, Jenny, like, the thing is that a lot of artists, and I want to ask you if you feel like you agree with this, especially when you're working with artists for the first time who are coming to you. Do you feel like it's hard? Do you feel like it's hard for artists to hear that truth? And then when they do you get this sense of like, ooh, like they don't want to be a part of the business part no more. They just want to make music and things like that. Do you ever get that sense from certain artists, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have been working with an artist, and we're trying to encourage them to do the work, especially on the social media side. We're a couple weeks out from their first drop, but we've spent 2.5 months trying to help them curate content, and they just won't do it. They just won't do it. And it's, you can't be an anonymous artist anymore. Like, you have to show up.
Yeah.
And at least have a color scheme to work on, or a type of photo or style. And once you have those things, then we can start to help curate and create something that looks nice. So that when we do send people to your pages through paid advertising, it looks like you're an artist and that you're doing things. And I think that's where some of that disconnect is, because artists don't always want to put themselves out front. Trust me, I know that. I have that horrible fear, just like everybody else, like, oh my God, this has to be perfect before the world sees it. It doesn't. We're all a work in progress. So put it out there. If we don't like it, there's an archive button and we can get rid of it later. But you have to put it out there so that you know what your baseline is to fix and move forward. Because if we don't have a baseline and we're just shooting for the stars, hoping we catch something, we'll never be able to grow, because we're too focused on what might be, instead of taking what we have, looking at it, refining it, and moving forward.
Jewelry. Y'all need to get a
Jewelry.
jewelry box for all this jewelry.
I know, you really do.
Bro, it's
You know,
crazy.
so Jenny, you're so like you are just saying a lot of things that we both really connect with that hopefully people who are watching this will also start to connect those dots for themselves.
She's a legend.
It's not just financial. I think throughout this whole thing is like it's not just a financial investment in yourself. It's really investing into like putting like your physical body and your mental and emotional health, your passion into what you do.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think it's crazy because like Jenny literally said earlier in the beginning of this, she was doing management for her brother for 10 years.
A long time.
You know, before
Long
like
time.
she started like before she got to the Ari part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before she got to the artist hub part,
Yeah.
you know, created her business and now working with a lot of other artists. She's given me a lot of great information too,
Yeah.
you know, that's helped me. And she doesn't hold it. You know, you've been making music since you were what, 12 years old?
Mhm. Yeah.
You know
I'm
what I mean?
surprised you remember the exact age. Oh my God, I feel old.
I mean, you know, I've been writing music since I was 12 years old. You know what I mean? But like I've been going
Okay.
for it professionally now for like almost 7 years.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not easy.
It's not.
And I
It's
think
not.
that's the whole purpose of this is like if you really want it and you really really believe in yourself,
Mhm.
you're going to do it.
You're gonna do it. Yeah. And also, we've said this before too. All of these things that we're just now like announcing, right?
Mhm.
Like all of the things that we've done, we make it look easy, but there's so much that has happened before that. I've signed record deals, I've signed management deals when I first started out that went completely to shit. And I worked on myself for years and years. And it wasn't until I was 23. So like 8 years later, when I signed a record deal that actually like propelled me to be able to explore other opportunities.
Right.
So that should put it in perspective for a lot of people.
Well, I want to say one more thing and then we'll get Jenny out of here because we've taken enough of your time and we're super grateful for it.
I'm so
I'll
sad.
sit here and talk with you all day long.
We love it. We love it. I think one thing people need to understand is like I'm gonna shout him out. Shout out Damian Ritter, a great human being. He's the first person that gave me the opportunity to talk to Ari Herstand via his platform that he had called the Music Entrepreneur Club years ago. He got rid of it recently. But I remember he said something to me, and I've said this to you before. Just the bar is so low. Just being respectful will get you so far.
So far.
Literally. And I say that because like I personally feel like, and I know you feel this way too.
Mhm.
I don't think Jenny would have even wanted to do this if we weren't respectful.
Yeah.
If we weren't grateful, if we weren't
But
thankful.
it's also you. Like, this is me. Just so all of you who are watching know, this is the first time I met Jenny. So don't, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did.
It won't be the last.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jenny.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure it won't be. And I'm thankful for you because
Likewise, brother. And thank you, Jenny.
Yeah, and thank you to you as well,
I'm
Jenny.
thankful for you for creating the art that I get to help discuss because I don't think you guys quite understand like how soul filling that is for me to be able to show up with artists and talk about art every single day.
That's beautiful.
That's great.
Thank you.
It's like, there's some things in life that like what your purpose is, and I know that that's my purpose.
So, Jenny, thank you. Thank you so much. And I really hope that people don't take like what you say for granted. Like, I would hope that people listen with intention, listen with the purpose of understanding, rather than to get defensive and be like, no, I already do that. Like, no, I do. No.
I mean, even if they do get that way, we don't give a fuck. We just gave you a whole bunch of jewelry box of gems she just gave you.
Right.
So run it back, listen to it. And Jenny, if you would like to tell people where they can find your business, how to contact you, how to reach out to you, please do.
Absolutely. You can find me on socials personally as I am Jenny Powers. Or you can find me at Blue Avenue Music Group on socials or blueavmusic.com.
And we'll make sure we'll put it in the
Or
description
Artist
box.
Hub. I'm always there as well. I'm
True.
everywhere. So
She
if
is.
Yeah,
you're
you are.
somewhere and you're like, I'm like the pixel data following you everywhere.
So Jenny just made a
You're
super.
gonna be there. I am too.
Thank you so much for offering our viewers and independent artists who are going to be watching this podcast 3 months of free Artist Hub.
Absolutely.
We highly recommend, because we both use it personally. Highly recommend that you go check it out. We'll leave the promo code in the description box, as well as where to find Jenny, and learn a little bit more about Blue Ave and kind of the work that they're doing. But Jenny, this is something new that I wanted to actually try out. And
Okay.
so as we end this episode, I think it'd be really cool to start asking our guests, what does it mean to you to face the music?
You know, it's so fucking crazy.
What?
I was literally going to say that to her. I swear to God, I was literally going to say those exact words.
Face the music.
Yeah.
What does that mean to me?
Yeah.
Like, I come to things in the perspective of the fan. So I want it in my face all the time. Like, I want to be there jamming. I want to be able to see you guys succeed. That's what it means to face the music to me. Like, I want to be a part of elevating the artists that I work with, and that's facing the music every day.
Hell yeah.
I love that. That's such a positive, uplifting thing, which we won't get much of that. I know we won't, because we're just always like punch and punch and punch and just like, ugh. But thank you so much for that. And Jenny, like, you've been so kind.
She's a legend.
Yes, you are a legend. You are definitely a legend, and you've been so helpful. And we we are definitely going to have more conversations, and, because you never know where that could lead. Not just, it's bigger than us, right? It's about helping other artists. And so we want to continue to build that so that we can make sure that other artists have access to this information. So thank you for being here and doing this and giving all of this, like, free jewelry boxes.
Jewelry. It's jewelry. Not
Yeah.
gems, jewelry.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I definitely want to ask you some things offline. I'll do that here in a second. But thank you guys again for watching Face the Music Podcast. This is the second season. We have Jenny Powers here, the great Jenny Powers, the legend. We drop episodes every other Tuesday. So we're not dropping them every week. We can't make that much content that quickly.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. But 7 p.m.
Opus Pro.
What was
Yes.
Opus Pro.
That's
Take this
true.
whole
Opus
thing,
Pro.
Upload it in there. It'll spit it all out for you.
that? Right?
Maybe we can.
Maybe.
Opus Pro.
Yeah.
So every other Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Check us out, and we will catch you guys next time.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Like this.